owner will be required to come forward to the Central Licensing Authority to procure its own fresh certificate. So this prevention of multiple registrations of stolen vehicles in the state back for revenue generation. Lagos State knows where to look for the money. It's not going to inconvenience the commuters because we're looking for money. That the certificate is in the interest of the owner of the vehicle. Additionally, since this innovative idea will soon extend to all other states in the Federation, those who presently derive their livelihood through stolen vehicles will have to look for another source for existence. Ladies and gentlemen, it might interest you to know that the certificate being launched today could serve as a collateral for obtaining loans in banks, as well as open up a national bank of national motor administration money to repair your vehicle. I also want to assure you that this administration will ensure that all information regarding your vehicles will be fed into a national grid, that is, a national data bank, which makes it difficult to computerize all the information that is required. This might be, and make what we say is in the interest of the state. On the part of Lagos State, the sum of 2.8 million has been expended by the Central Licensing Authority to computerize the scheme, and this will be extended shortly to all zonal offices. I want to appeal to them that they should not take this opportunity of 200 naira for a lifetime of the vehicle to increase the rates of transportation. As I mentioned earlier, today's event is in twofold. The second aspect has to do with the new national uniform licensing plates at the state level. It will be recalled that the Federal Road Safety Commission, FRSC, introduced the scheme barely a year ago. You must have observed that these license plates are already in use on some vehicles in and outside Lagos State. Most commissioners now have the new vehicle plates on their cars. The state government was to have formally implemented the program in the second half of last year, that for the colossal amount demanded by the federal government to purchase a very large number of new uniform plates that will be required. Because it has been extremely difficult for the state government to defray the expenses through internal resources, it has been compelled to resort to external sources. For this and other reasons, the internal control system of the Central Licensing Authority needs to be seriously overhauled in order to save this administration from undesirable and embarrassing external indebtedness. The 1994 state budget had addressed the measures to be taken to improve the financial position of the state. All identified loopholes within the tax administration will be blocked, and the staff involved in the collection will be given necessary incentives to perform and achieve unprecedented level of revenue generation. This administration wants to be remembered for ensuring that it has improved the revenue base during its time. I want to extend the appeal to everyone here to please discharge his or her civic responsibilities in areas of payment of taxes, water rates, and other obligations as and when due. It is by so doing that the state government will be in a position to reciprocate through the provision of...
To a very large extent. In Lagos State, for instance, it represents 99.2% of the mode of transportation. However, road use invariably also involves very great dangers to lives, as well as to properties, and and when not managed appropriately, may lead to an escalation which can be called a problem. In order to address the basic issues, the very fabric of the causes of road accidents in Nigeria, there is a need to combine highway patrols and surveillance with restructuring road traffic documentation processes, as well as restructuring regulations with a view to inject order and control into the road traffic system. Your Excellency, distinguished road users, the fully computerized National Motor Vehicle Administration designed and implemented by the Federal Road Safety Commission is part of the restructuring of all matters relating to road traffic system in this country. The restructuring has brought out a change from the old tradition of licensing drivers and vehicles to a modern, high-security, properly standardized method throughout the Federation. It is a new order. The component elements of January 1993. In the case of the National Vehicle Identification Scheme for
Wednesday, 19th January 1994, I launched a fleet of passenger buses for the exclusive use of the state civil servants. During that ceremony, I promised that as and when more funds were made available to the state, arrangements will be made to purchase additional buses to supplement the existing fleet. That and other welfare facilities are being provided to create job satisfaction, to promote and sustain higher productivity of our workers. As a corollary, I stress the urgent need for all revenue-generating establishments throughout the states to work most seriously during this fiscal year in order to realize the revenue target set for ourselves in the 1994 budget, so that government can be able to fulfill its pledges of providing good services to the people. It is therefore with pleasure that I'm here with you to formally launch the National Uniform Licensing Plates and Certificates of Title to motor vehicle owners. The National Uniform Licensing Plate Scheme has been designed by the Federal Road Safety Commission to provide security and protection to owners of vehicles. The scheme, as you are quite aware, took off last year, and some states of the Federation have since commenced on its implementation. Owing to logistic problems, Lagos State could not launch its own then. But by today's ceremony, we are not only proven, but we want to be seen as being ready to move ahead. As part of our readiness for the takeoff of the scheme, the State Central Licensing Authority has been computerized, and soon all the zonal offices will be equally connected. With the launching and eventual adoption of the National Uniform Licensing Plate, government, citizens, and particularly owners of vehicles have the following benefits to drive. First, easy identification of all vehicles registered in Nigeria. Easy detection in case of theft of vehicles. Tax evasion will be easily detected and the rate reduced. The National Motor Vehicle Data Bank will be enhanced. And finally, offending vehicle owners will be easily apprehended. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, another related new product which we shall also be launching shortly is the Certificate of Title to motor vehicle owners. This is a product of long research by the Revenue Generation Department of the Plans, Programs and Budget Office. The primary objectives of this certificate are to eradicate the incessant incidence of re-registration of stolen vehicles in the state. Vehicle security and safety will be guaranteed. Harassment from security agents has the new ownership of vehicles will henceforth be completely eradicated. And lastly, statistics on imported vehicles will be readily obtained through the data bank that will emerge. Contrary to the impression created by a recent newspaper editorial, the main object is not revenue generation. Rather, it is the desire and determination of government to make the environment inconducive for stealing, which certificate of ownership is meant to achieve. The printing of this vital document has been carefully handled by the Nigeria Security Printing and Minting Company of the federal government in order to avoid any imitation thereof. Since the main objective is not to add to tax burden of vehicle owners, my administration has pegged the state at a token amount of 200 naira only to cover the cost of printing and other administrative expenses of the document to the state government. All vehicle owners in Lagos State are therefore enjoined to ensure that they obtain their certificates, which must be made available to security agents as and when demanded. I want to use this opportunity to appeal to all revenue agencies in Lagos State to improve on their revenue collecting performance and ensure proper accountability. Money collected from these and other sources should not find their way into individual pockets. By the same token, let me warn all the spending ministries and other government organs that under this administration all requests for approval to incur expenditure will henceforth be vigorously and judiciously scrutinized. Finally, it is important to let you know that with the increasing complexity of society, so is the attendant cost to government. However, in spite of the fact that the state maintains the highest number of civil servants next to the federal government, salaries are still constantly being paid as are when due without any retrenchment. In the light of this, I sincerely appeal to all government functionaries to take extra care in all matters relating to the income and expenditure of the state. We are all face the challenges ahead, and together we shall succeed by the grace of God. I now have the pleasure to present the National Uniform Licensing Plate and Certificate of Title to motor vehicle owners for Lagos State. Thank you all.
Please give a big round of applause to please. Thank you, sir. Your Excellency, sir, I now have the pleasure and honor.
Thereafter, we'll start from B. So it will be BA up to BZ until when we have come to ZZ, during which time we expect it will be easy to start again from AA. The next two digits will start with 001 up to 999. And the last three letters will represent the states and the local governments. The sample that I have here is Lagos mainland. L for Lagos and ND for the mainland local government. There will be special ones which will bear the insignia of Lagos, the Eyo masquerade, and that will be going for a higher value. There can also be personalized ones which will be in the color of your choice and can also carry some special emblems. That naturally will go to those people who can afford them. I know in Lagos State, a lot of people can pay up to 50,000, 100,000 to personalize either their Lexus or their Rolls Royce or any of these other special cars. Well, These are the various categories, and they have been displayed there for you to see. For all vehicle registration plate numbers, there will be Lagos on top for those registered in Lagos, and there will be the Federal Republic of Nigeria at the bottom. For the special ones, we will have limited edition written at the right lower corner of the plate. And then for the personalized one, anything you want to do, I understand the Federal Road Safety Corps can do it, including any symbol that you want to choose. Then you should be ready to pay for it. Thank you very much.
The Director General, and I'd like to single out the Director General in his own right. As against the provision of 2.99 billion for recurrent expenditure, the total revenue estimate of 4.292 billion leaves the recurrent budget surplus of 1.0183 billion. These are figures for the press, not for the government. These amounts to be transferred to the Capital Development Fund. Additional receipts totaling 950 million will be expected from internal loans of 650 million, transfer from stabilization fund 100 million, grants and reimbursement 200 million. When we add 650 to 100 and 200 to get 90. The total capital receipts will then be available for capital expenditure to be 1.9698 million. So we have made provision to spend 1.969 for whatever we collect. But by the time I tell you how much we're going to spend, you start wondering whether we are going to spend or not. 1994 capital expenditure. A total sum of 1.968 billion has been held for the execution of capital projects and programs during the 1994 fiscal year. This is against the background of an expected capital receipt of 1.969 billion. We set aside 1.798 billion for core capital programs. And this is where the various invested parties want to do the breakdown. And only 170 million will be set aside for special expenditure. The priority areas of state administration have been properly reflected in the sectoral operational budget. This is influenced by the need to chart a new direction for the state. In this regard, attention will focus on the following: completion of ongoing projects, rehabilitation and resuscitation of existing projects that have lost standards and values over the years. It must be emphasized that the new direction of the charter of the state is dictated by the acceptance of the philosophy that governance of the state is a continuum. Simply translated, this means that each administration must strive to pursue vigorously programs and projects that touch on the lives and welfare of the citizens at large, irrespective of who and when it was initiated. In view of this administration is poised to regard as a thing of the past abandonment of projects simply because they were not originated by the administration or for other considerations other than viability, economy, and relevance to welfare of the people. No government will hope to start and finish a non-trivial project. Each administration will regard whatever has been done as a learning ministry and should build on it rather than handle it without another. Programs and projects were completed in 1994 to reflect the priority of the administration will include